Have you ever felt completely exhausted, not from a workout or a long day at work, but because your mind just will not rest? You find yourself replaying old conversations, analyzing every single word, or maybe you're constantly worrying about things that haven't even happened yet, creating scenarios in your head that leave you feeling anxious and stressed. You might lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, just wondering, why is my brain like this? Why can't I just switch it off? If this sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. And today, we're going to dive deep into the science and psychology behind this frustrating habit. We're going to decode why overthinking happens, what your brain is really trying to do when it gets stuck in these loops, and most importantly, how to find your way out. So, what is overthinking really? From a psychological standpoint, it's crucial to understand that overthinking isn't a personal flaw or a sign of weakness. It's actually a deeply ingrained survival mechanism. Our human brains have evolved over millions of years with a primary directive: keep us safe. To do this, it developed some amazing abilities. It learned to predict potential dangers, to analyze past mistakes so we don't repeat them, and to protect us from emotional pain. Think about it. When you've been hurt in the past, maybe you were embarrassed in a social situation or you failed at something important, your brain doesn't just forget it. It stores that experience as critical threat data. It files it away for future reference. So later on, when you encounter a situation that feels even remotely similar, your brain's alarm system goes off. It pulls up that old data and says, hey, remember last time? This could be dangerous. Let's think about this. A lot. That's the root of overthinking. It's your brain's protective instinct going into overdrive, trying to prevent you from getting hurt again. It's not trying to annoy you, it's trying to save you. Now, if overthinking is just our brain trying to protect us, why is it so incredibly hard to stop? The problem isn't the thinking itself. The problem is getting stuck in a thinking loop. This loop gets activated under specific conditions. It thrives on uncertainty, a lack of control, and unresolved emotions. When we're faced with a situation where we don't know the outcome, or we feel powerless, our brain kicks into high gear. It operates on a faulty belief system. If I just think about this a little bit longer, if I analyze every possible angle, I'll find the perfect solution, and then I'll be safe. But here's the paradox. The opposite happens. The more you think, the more you feed the anxiety. You're essentially running a simulation of the threat over and over again in your mind. Each time you run it, the neural pathways associated with that fear get stronger. The threat starts to feel more real, more immediate, and more dangerous, even if it's completely hypothetical. You're trying to think your way to safety. But all you're really doing is convincing your brain that the danger is bigger than it actually is. It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. Let's break down some of the most common patterns of overthinking. You'll probably recognize one or more of these in your own life. The first one is called rumination. This is when you're stuck replaying the past. You're constantly going over old events, old conversations, old mistakes. And it's not just remembering, it's a cycle of self-blame and regret. You might think, I should have said this, or why did I do that? The second pattern is catastrophizing. This is the what if game on steroids. You take a small, uncertain possibility and blow it up into the absolute worst case scenario. Your mind jumps from a small spark of worry to a raging inferno of disaster. The third common type is analysis paralysis. This happens when you're faced with a decision and you have too many options. You're frozen by the fear of making the wrong choice. While these three patterns look different on the surface: rumination in the past, catastrophizing in the future. So how do you actually break free from these cycles? What's the secret to exiting the overthinking loop? The biggest mistake people make is trying to fight it. They tell themselves, just stop thinking about it, or think positive. But as you know, that rarely works. In fact, it often makes it worse. Trying to force your brain to stop thinking is like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. The more you push it down, the more forcefully it pops back up. Your brain doesn't stop because it's commanded to. It stops when it feels safe. So instead of resistance, we need to practice awareness and compassion. Here are a few key principles. First, limit your thinking time. Instead of letting worry run wild all day, schedule a specific, short period, say 15 minutes, to intentionally think about the problem. When the time is up, you move on. This contains the worry instead of letting it contaminate your entire day. Second, shift from your head into your body. When you're stuck in a loop, do something physical. Go for a walk, do a few stretches, wash the dishes, focus on the sensation of the water on your hands. This small action breaks the mental cycle and grounds you in the present moment. And third, and this is so important, validate your emotions instead of suppressing them. Say to yourself, it's okay that I feel anxious about this. My brain is just trying to protect me. Acknowledging the feeling without judgment takes away its power. Overthinking doesn't fade through a fight. It fades when you bring gentle awareness to it. Ultimately, overthinking isn't a sign that you're broken or flawed. It's proof that you have a heart. It's proof that you've cared about things, that you've been hurt before, and that your brain, in its own way, has learned from those experiences. The journey to a calmer mind isn't about getting rid of thoughts. It's about changing your relationship with them. It's about learning to observe them without getting swept away. When you stop judging your brain for doing what it was designed to do, you begin to reclaim your power. You create a little space between you and your thoughts. And in that space, calm slowly begins to return. Thank you so much for watching today. If this resonated with you, let us know in the comments. And for more content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. Understanding the mind is the first step to freeing it.